Welcome to the channel and welcome to this narrative battle report between Grey Knights and Tyranids. Today on the channel we're in the scrap town outside of St. Polenta's Hive, and St. Polenta's Hive is having a very bad time. It's been racked by demonic incursion, a demonic infestation. So the Grey Knights are here and they've just got rid of clearing up the demons that have been running around all over the place, and then Hive Fleet Kraken rudely decides to invade. And so they have deployed to throw back Hive Fleet Kraken. And on this battle grid, in this section of the city, we're going to see the synaptic linchpin of Hive Fleet Kraken. So what we've got here is, this is the scrap town outside of St. Polenta's Hive, with the main thoroughfare running up the middle, and then about a mile in the distance you're going to have St. Polenta's Hive, the walls going up like a mountainside itself. And obviously the Grey Knights are not going to deploy inside the Hive, because that would be very bad for the citizens of the Hive. They'd either all get brain scrubbed if they're having a good time, or on a normal day they'd all be wiped out, because they would have witnessed the Grey Knights in action. Chapter 666, one of the secrets of the Imperium. So the Grey Knights have actually cared about, for a moment they've cared about the citizens of St. Polenta's Hive, and they've decided to deploy a mile out of town on this main thoroughfare and stop the synaptic linchpin of Hive Fleet Kraken getting past them, rampaging down this roadway here. So we're going to be playing a narrative battle report, and the Tyranids will be deployed on this side of the battle grid. I think we've got it up to 90 power, which is about 1,600, 1,700 points. The Grey Knights will be deployed on this side of the battle grid, and we've decided that these two statues here are the objectives. In this narrative game, there's no point in having line breaker, because the Grey Knights don't need to go out. But we'll have, and no point having first blood either, because that doesn't make narrative sense to us. But we'll go for Slay the Warlord, and we'll make these two objectives, and anyone in base contact of the statues at the end will control the objectives and win the game. So the Grey Knights just need to camp on these two objectives and stop the swarm getting past them. And on this particular battle grid, this is where the synaptic linchpin of Hive Fleet Kraken is. So this is where the might of Chapter 666 is decided to deploy. If they can cut the head off the snake here, then they can stop this Tyranid infestation, just as they stopped the demonic infestation only a few short days ago. So all very simple for the Grey Knights. Just stop the Tyranids from rampaging all the way up the table, and we welcome back to the channel Mike SEO.
Hello everyone.
Mike, thanks for coming one more time. When's the last time you fought bugs?
Ooh, must be a little while now. Maybe a tournament, I think.
Yeah, a good few years ago. I think the last time you came up and you played with the Imperial Knights against the Death Guard.
Yeah, that was fun.
You said
I was chasing people around, impaling people. That
was really good. When you finally got Fluffy in the corner and skewered him with a spear and then roasted his brains.
That was good fun,
That was, yeah.
I'm back for some more impaling and skewering and everything and burning everything.
Back with your typical army, the Grey Knights. Yeah. And then you saw that I had a Tyranid army. And you said, you haven't fought Tyranids for a while. Can you have a bug hunt?
Absolutely.
And I said yes. So let's get this bug hunt started. Let's go and have a look at these armies. Right, this is 90 power of Hive Fleet Kraken. I think I said 80. We're paying 90 power. We've got 90 each. Hive Fleet Kraken, 3d6 when you charge. No, 3d6 when you advanced and pick the highest. And they can also fall back and charge in the same turn. And the Warlord for my army will be the Neurothrope there. And I've given him the Warlord trait, Synaptic Linchpin. So that means his synapse range gets out to 18 inches. The Hive Tyrant has that rule anyway. Hive Tyrants have that rule. So Synapse, and the Broodlord is a Synapse creature, and I've got some Warriors as well as a Synapse creature, just to increase the Synapse bubble, because everything within Synapse is fearless. So that makes beautiful sense to me. These guys have got Catalyst and Smite, and he can cast 2, he can cast 1, and the Hive Winged Hive Tyrant. He's got Onslaught and a Horror. And I've given him a relic. It's called Chameleonic Skin. It's a Hive Fleet Kraken specific relic, which means it's -1 to him when you shoot him, Mike.
Oh, nice.
-1 to shoot at him. It's only in shooting, not in close combat. And the 2 Screamer Killers back there have that anyway. They've got something called Spore Clouds or Spore Sisters, Spore something, and loads of smoking and choking filth chucked out of those chimneys on their back. So they're -1 to hit.
A bit like Novichok.
But I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just going to say yes. So they got that. 20 Ormagaunts, 20 Termagants, 20 Termagants because of power levels, and 10 Gene Stealers. I wish it was more than that, but just 10 Gene Stealers to keep the Brood Lord happy. I've got a Trigon. That's a separate Trigon. He's not a Prime or anything, not a Synapse creature, just a standard Trigon. He'll be bursting up from underground, just like in Starship Troopers. I brought some Pyrovores along. 10-inch range on their Flamers, which is pretty nice. And I figure I could either use them as screen, because then they'll chuck out quite a nice bit of Overwatch, or they can just go running forward, because those are assault weapons, so they can run and still chuck their Flamers down. And an Exocrine as well. You've got to bring an Exocrine, because it's basically one of the best things in the Codex, and along with the Screamer Killers and a couple of Scorch Bugs getting chucked out from those Termagants, there's not much shooting in this army at all, really. It's just going to be rampaging forward. They don't expect to see the Grey Knights in front of them. Right, this is 90 power level of Grey Knights. Single battalion detachment as well with a Librarian. Is that Grandmaster?
Yes, we've got the Grandmaster Dread Knight here.
Yes.
With the heavy P silencer and the heavy side cannon.
Yes.
I decided to keep the fists on just because of the extra attack.
Right, yeah.
He's hitting on 2s and re-rolling 1s anyway, so I thought I'd just maximise the hit.
And if you give him a sword or a hammer, he loses an attack essentially. With 2 fists, he gets an extra attack.
I just find against Nids, it probably won't be that useful. I think the extra attack's going to be useful. If I was against something a bit harder, but higher toughness, maybe like some chaos stuff.
Well, Winged Hive Tyrant's pretty tough.
Yeah, he's pretty tough. That's if I catch him though. I'm better off shooting him, to be fair.
Yeah, probably.
Warlord
trait on this guy?
Yep, so he's got I think it's First Fray, so it's reroll charges.
Oh, right, okay.
Any units within 12 inches of him.
Yep.
And then you've got 30 Grey Knight Strike Squad guys.
Nice.
What you see is what you get. Some incinerators and some sight cannons sprinkled in there, and some different variations of close combat weapons.
Nice.
The 2 Razorbacks here, one with the Twin Las and one with the heavy bolters.
Yep.
And then the Glorious Storm Raven.
Why did you bring Storm Raven?
Because I love my planes.
So bring a Storm Raven.
Yeah.
So you've clearly got a lot more shooty than me. Grey Knights are +1 to their psychic power, right?
That's right, yeah.
But with Shadow in the Warp, if you're within 18 inches of any Synapse creature, it's going to be -1, so it's just back to the normal.
Back to normal, yeah.
Your smites only ever do 1 damage.
Correct, yeah.
Unless you get 11 or more?
No, it's always that. It's the demons, which increases.
Okay.
Then becomes a D3.
Yeah, but you've got power weapons everywhere.
Yeah.
The Librarian's got a pair of falchions and a combi plasma. What psychic powers do you give your HQs here?
So I've given him Sanctuary and Vortex of Doom.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yes.
And with this chap, I've given him Vortex of Doom also.
Okay.
And it is Sanctuary as well, sorry.
Okay, so both got Sanctuary, both got Vortex of Doom, and as this is a narrative game, you could do Vortex twice in the same psychic round.
Absolutely.
Which is just going to be, if you manage to pull that off.
Well, I was thinking
Yes.
to go Uber Dirt is everyone's got Vortex. Because Vortex of Doom.
That would be Uber. I spread my psychic powers out normally, like I was playing a normal game. But I like spreading the psychic powers out in the Tyranid list because they're all good. There's a lot of useful powers in the series.
Yeah.
But Vortex is brutal if you manage to pull it off with the high thing, which does lots. We'll get to it. I'm scared of Vortex.
Trust me, guys. Vortex will be happening this game.
Oh, 1 minute. It's probably worth mentioning. I gave adrenal glands to everything that can have adrenal glands, like the Hive Tyrant, the Carnifexes, and the Trigon, because it's narrative and it's free. So adrenal glands +1 to charge and advance. Nice. And we deployed for this 90 power narrative game between Tyranids and Grey Knights. And the Grey Knights got down everything way before me, despite combat squad and everything. We can see 5 guys here, 5 guys there. There's 5 guys either side of the statue. Might put 2 combat squads in there along with the librarian inside that Storm Raven gunship ready to fly down the table. There's another combat squad inside this Razorback here. So units of 5 men all over the place, which maximizes the amount of psychic power, which maximizes the amount of smite output that they can put down. I don't see the Nemesis Dread Knight, Mike.
No, unfortunately he's at a briefing currently after smashing down the Demon Prince, and just got a nasty text message through from one of his favourite sergeants on the field to say that the Tyranids have just turned up. So he's had to kick off his Grandmaster slippers and put his armour back on, so he's coming guys, don't you worry.
So after slaughtering the demons a couple of days ago, he got a text message?
Yeah.
Text message.
41st millennium kind of data slate text message.
Right, on me, I thought about putting the Exocrine in the middle. It would have made perfect sense to put him in the middle of the roadway. But then when I got down and had a look, I can't actually see anything from the middle of the roadway. Line of sight to the right and left is completely blocked down. So I put him over this side, where he did have a bit more line of sight. He's only got a 36-inch range, though, which is just to the front of one of those statues. If the Grey Knight stayed just behind it, he's going to have to start moving forward as well. I've got some warriors with him as well. I'm aware of instinctive behaviour. As soon as he's outside a 24-inch range of a Synapse creature, it'll be -1 for him to hit when he shoots at stuff, if it's not the closest unit. So he needs some Synapse to keep him company, because the rest of the Synapse are going that way. Straight through this scrap town, straight for the walls of the Hive City, the Hive of St. Palentus. These 2 Screamer Killers can split off as soon as they've been deployed. You've got to deploy them within 6 inches of each other, but after that they can count as separate units and go their separate ways. And then the Broodlord with the Gene Stealers and the Hormogaunts in the middle of the table with the Pyrovores. And then I've done a Termagant sandwich there with my Neurothrope, and I've kept the Hive Winged Hive Tyrant flapping through the air while the Trigon burrows his way underground. Remember, this is narrative play. I could bring those things in turn 1 way down the table. Don't think I will, though, because then I'm going to have 2 of my monstrous creatures all the way down there unsupported by the rest of my army, and then they'll get obliterated by the entirety of the Grey Knight's force. So I probably need to get a little bit way up the table. Remember, Grey Knight strike teams only have 24-inch range guns. They've all got Stormbolters, however, so within 12-inch range, they chuck out a boatload of shots. But they are quite short-ranged. The only long-range firepower in this army is the Storm Raven and the 2 Razorbacks. So there shouldn't be that much shooting at range. Mind you, I haven't got much shooting at range either. When we get down into the lines at that side of the table, it's going to get very bloody very, very quickly. Right, we're going to roll off to see who goes first. I don't know if you do this in narrative play, didn't check the rules, but we're going to do the chapter approved thing instead. So it's 90 power level each. But you got down.
So professional here.
It's,
it's just amazing.
I do like this way of finding out who goes first, really. I mean, you dropped before me, so I'm going to roll a dice and not add anything to it. And I got a 1. Can you beat a 1? I think you can, and you get +1 to that, so you get a 2. You're going first, unless I can steal from you. Stealing?
No, don't steal.
You should never steal from friends. Don't do this to your friends, people. Like I didn't do either. Don't steal from friends. It's going to be... Do you want to go first, or do you want me to get close to you? That's an interesting thing. Or do you want to think about it? Should we have a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Let's have a cup of tea, and then we'll find out who's going in turn 1. Here we are after the Tyranid movement phase. Mike, let me go first. The Grandmaster's not here yet. He's still whacking on his shoulder pads and kicking off his slippers after the debriefing. But this planet is getting rained upon by Tyranid spores. And on this battle grid, this is where the synaptic linchpin is. And everything in my army advanced. And being Hive Fleet Kraken, I roll 3d6 and pick the highest. So everything's advanced. This is a heavy gun on the Exocrine, so it's not shooting anymore. When I got down and measured and looked, there was nothing in line of sight or range, so there was no point in keeping it all the way back here. So I think he got to move 10 in the end, and now he's up there, where he's going to be a bit more useful next turn. And of course I kept the Swarm Lord and the Trigon in reserve. No point in bringing them onto the battle grid yet. As I said, if I drop them in there, they're going to die. I know that there is a stratagem that I can use, where I could pick a unit and move again, so that there would be a unit down here, Metabolic Override. there'd be a unit down here with them. But then I'd have 3 units right in front of the entire Grey Knight force. I'd rather my army gets there in one piece, or as much as one piece as I can muster. That makes sense. So now let's go straight onto the psychic phase. The Neurothrope knows Catalyst and Smite, so I might as well pass Catalyst. And I think I'm going to put it on the Gene Stealers, because that's what I would shoot at. So Catalyst on the Gene Stealers, I need a 6, that passes. And the Broodlord has got Catalyst and Smite as well, and being narrative, I can fire, I can do 2 psychic powers, the same psychic powers. So I'm going to put Catalyst on the Exocrine, I need a 6, and that passes. So that's a 5 up ignore wounds on the Exocrine, a 5 up ignore wounds on the Gene Stealers. There is no shooting phase, there is no charge phase. In fact, that's the end of Tyranids turn 1. Let's see what the Grey Knights do in their first turn. And here we are after the Grey Knights movement phase. The Grandmaster still hasn't made it to the party. This unit of Strike Squad did get out of their Razorback, so they're in range. There was a unit there, they've jumped up. They're within 12-inch range, so Stormbolters are a thing. The Storm Raven flying at its lowest speed. It is still flying, it's not hovering, but only moving 20 inches up the table, pushing the deep strike bubble back. These guys moved forward, but the side cannon stayed still, and these guys went through the wall, cut their way through the wall, so that they're now in range of the bugs. Just a cautious advance from the Grey Knights, trying not to get drawn out away from the walls of the Hive City. Let's move on to the Psychic phase. In the Psychic phase, the Grey Knights could only cast Smite, and it's only a 12-inch range, so this unit and that unit had a go, and only one managed to get out, because I've denied the other one, killing a bug. Killed a bug. Now we're on to the shooting phase. You're starting with this unit?
Yep.
And they're firing at the little bugs. Make them bleed.
Stormbolters first.
You're in rapid fire range, yeah, so you're hitting on 3s. And these guys are strength 4 Stormbolters versus toughness 3, so you're
terrible.
wounding on 3s. That was awful. And you only get 4 wounds. 4 6-up saves. You kill 4 bugs though.
Then 4 side cannon shots.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. These are hit on 4s, right? It's a heavy gun. Strength.
So win on 2s now.
Okay. Is this an AP?
AP -1.
Is it? So that's 3 more bugs. You kill 7 in total. So 7 termagants from this screen here die. Now we have this squad up here. They are in rapid fire range, firing down at the Hormagaunts, hitting on 3s. And these are wounding on 3s again. Strength 4 versus toughness 3. And I only have a 3-up save. And this unit is not wholly within cover, so I don't get a benefit for cover, but I do get 6-up saves. T-shirts. They don't really wear T-shirts. They wear scales and stuff. 6 die. 6. What else we got?
4 side cannon shots as well.
Yep.
4s.
Yep.
3.
That's pretty good.
2s.
2 more. So 8 Hormagaunts die in total. And then 4 more Hormagaunts died by this second squad back there, firing through. They weren't in rapid fire range, that's why they killed less. Then this squad between the statues and the Razorback fired up the main road into the Pyrovores, taking one of the Pyrovores down to 1 wound remaining, not killing them. Last thing left to fire now, we've got the Razorback and the Storm Raven, the big guns, which never tire. Where are these big guns going?
Well, I'm going to do the last cannon at the back first.
Twin last cannon.
At this guy.
At the Exocrine.
Yep.
Okay.
2 last cannon shots.
Yes.
1 hit.
1 hit. Strength 9, toughness 7 or 8. But that's definitely a wound at -3. I need a 6-up save, which I failed. This does D6 damage. Last cannon punching through the armour, doing the big 6. But I did put a catalyst on him, and it only saves me 1 wound. I take 5. The Exocrine's down to only 7 wounds left. That was a solid hit from the Razorback gun. And now the Storm Raven is putting its twin melters, its twin last cannons into the Exocrine. And the missiles are coming down at the Pyrovores here. These are heavy guns, but Storm Ravens have powered machine spirit, so you can fire them even though you moved. What are we firing first, sir?
Okay, last cannons.
Last
at
cannons.
the big boy first.
Okay.
Okay.
Big boy Exocrine. 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. Doesn't wound.
Spend a command point.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It doesn't wound.
That's a 7 command points.
Okay.
2 might miles.
Yes. 1 hit. You can spend another command point. You know, it's narrative.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm down to 6. 2
Okay,
hits.
they both hit. I think I'm toughness 7.
3.
Let's roll up. I check the book.
2 wounds.
I need to check the book. They're toughness 8. Only 1 gets through. Unless you want to command point that one for a 50-50. It is narrative. You can if you want to.
It's
expensive. Oh, okay. It worked. That was good. At -4 AP, it burns all the way through his armor. He's doesn't get a save. So how much? Yeah, how much damage? 6 damage. Right, I've got 6 catalyst saves to make. I'm going to survive this unless you reroll that one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 9 catalyst saves to make, of 5 up. Even if he doesn't die, he will be really nerfed and probably hitting on 7s or something. Let's roll my 5 up catalysts. I save 3. So he's alive on 1 wound. He's dead unless I command point it. I'm not going to command point it because, like I said, even if he lives, I think he's hitting on 5s or something. So he's dead.
Doesn't he go boom?
He goes boom. He death throws. Let's see if he has some death throws. No, he just sinks into a pile of ooze. No first blood in this game, but that's basically my shooting gone. That's my anti-tank thing, unless I scratch these vehicles to death. Missiles coming into the biovault.
Eagle 1, Fox 1. And a moist.
1 hit. Fox 2.
Wound on 2?
Yeah, strength 8 versus toughness. And they're AP -3 or 2? I think I need a 6. I don't get a 6. One's on 1 wound left. I think they're flat 3 damage, those missiles. So you kill a biovore. They do blow up because they're full of flaming goodness. And they blow up on a 4. And it blows up. It did blow up. Volatile, it's called. A spray of acidic blood, but it only hurts the nearest enemy unit. So no damage done. And that's the end of your shooting phase. There's no assaults coming in unless you want to try and charge these little bugs over there, which is a long way to go and draws you well away from the objective. I would definitely charge them.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if you manage to get in.
Near 12.
No. I'll do some Overwatch and no damage done in Overwatch there. Those Grey Knights have a 2-up save. They're wholly within a cover. And that's the end of turn 1. The Grey Knights advance cautiously, lay down a professional and disciplined volley of fires, take out the weapon beast in the backfield that will cause them the most damage to their vehicles. And that was a good call there. Catalyst not protecting it. The Power of the Hive Mind not protecting it. However, the Hive Mind, the synaptic linchpin and the might of Hive Fleet Kraken are getting closer and closer and closer to these objectives, closer to the walls of the Hive of St. Palentis. Let's go on to Tyranids, turn 2. Here we are after Hive Fleet Kraken's movement phase, and I didn't really need to set any board up all the way down here because everyone's pretty much over the halfway mark already. It's that advance, it's that 3d6 for Kraken. This army shifts, so both of the Carnifex is advancing, the Hormagaunts advancing, the Warriors advancing up with them, and the Gene Stealers and the Broodlord advancing as well. Now they can charge after they advanced, and there's a meal in a can for them on top of that ruin there. I think I should be able to take them out. I am worried about what's inside that Storm Raven. Remember, there's 2 5-man combat squads of Strike teams in there, plus a Librarian that knows Vortex of Doom. When he gets out, it's going to be painful. So I need to try and do something about it. So up on the other side of the table, my Neurothrope, my Warlord, is still in the cover along with the unit of 20 Termagants that haven't been injured yet. I kept everyone in the terrain piece. These guys bust through so that there's a wall in front of them. And then the Trigon and the Hive Tyrant, the Winged Hive Tyrant, have popped up over there. I thought about putting them over here, but there was less places to deploy them, and it's better on that side, I think. Less things that can shoot me back. Plus, they support the Neurothrope a bit better over there. They support the Warlord. Now, losing the Execrete means much of my anti-tank has gone. So I'm going to be relying now on the Trigon and the Winged Hive Tyrant and the Screamer Killers to do the heavy lifting to break their way through these vehicles, because they're going to be a tough nut to crack if I lose all 4 of them. So don't target any more of my monstrous creatures, please.
I promise to kill every single one.
So let's go on to the psychic phase. I really need to slow this Storm Raven down. The Winged Hive Tyrant has the Horror. 24-inch range. I need a 6. And that's a pass. You need an 11 to deny. And you don't deny. And that's a -1 for the -1 leadership. But also, you're hitting on 4s now instead of hitting on 3s. So that will slow you down a little bit. And the other thing he's got is Onslaught. Now, I don't really need Onslaught. That is... Onslaught allows you to charge after assaulting. Don't need to do that. So instead, he's just going to simply smite. It'll hit these Grey Knights here. And that's an 8. Would you like to deny that?
Yeah.
That's an 11. What did you deny that with? Have you got anything else in 24-inch range?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those guys over there. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it was in range to deny. That's really annoying. Now, I can smite with the Neurothrope, and I'm not going to get blocked, nothing in range. But I know that this is going to get targeted. I would target the Winged Hive Tyrant. So do I want to put Catalyst on him? Or do I want to smite? Let's Catalyst. 6 up. Yep. So the Hive Tyrant has got a ignore damage on a 5+. And then over here, I have the Broodlord and the Gene Stealers. You can deny this because there's a unit right in front. But let's put Catalyst on the Gene Stealers. Mm-hmm. And that fails. Do I want to reroll? No, because I'm going to need a... Even if I do reroll, you're probably going to beat me. So I'll just let that one fail. So the only lasting effect here is we have Catalyst on the Winged Hive Tyrant, keeping him safe. The Gene Stealers are going to get a world of hurt this turn. That's the end of the Psychic phase. Let's shoot some stuff. Let's do lots of small arms with these bugs into these Tyranids. Sorry,
How
Mike.
dare you?
Into these Grey Knights that are in cover here. After the shooting phase, shot with some of the ones in the backfield as well. These guys have a 2-up save and, yeah, didn't manage to hurt them at all. Plus everyone advanced, so I was hitting on 5s, winning on 4s. So they bounced. Maybe the Screamer Killers can do something better. They both advanced, but their Biostatic Scream is an assault weapon, 18-inch range. I'm going to target that unit there because I'm going to charge the units in cover. So how many shots come spilling out of its mouth as it screams? This is what Screamer Killers are known for. That's where they get their name from. This Biostatic Scream builds up and builds up and builds up in their thorax. And when they bellow it out, it's like a ah! That's my impression.
High-pitched.
That's my impression of it. For sure. Advanced, so I'm hitting on 5s. 1 hit. It's strength 7, so I need 3s to wound. It doesn't wound. Are you laughing at me?
Yeah.
Are you literally, you're lolling?
I'm wanting you to re-roll that.
Right, let's do the second one. Build up the scream in his throat. 5 shots this time, hitting on 5s. 2 hits. Now this is strength 7, -4 AP, so any wounds will just kill him.
Susan Boyle me.
Yes. I kill 1 at -4 AP. One of the Grey Knights falls, finally killing one of these. Now the only thing left to fire is this unit of Biovores. I think the Broodlord has got them pretty much on his own. So do I soften them up with the Biovores first? Or do I just fire up at the flyer? No, I don't know.
Decisions.
Okay,
Point,
I'm gonna soften them up first with the Biovores. Okay. It's assault D6, 2 shot, 1 shot each. Look at that, 12.
Fantastic.
So the Flame Spurt is an assault weapon, so it automatically hits, and I can fire it after running 12 times at strength 5, wounding on 3s. And that's okay. That is 6 wounds at AP -1, but you're wholly within a ruin, so you get +1. So basically 6 3-up saves to keep your little Grey Knights alive.
What's this?
And
1 dice.
3
dice.
dice.
3 dice.
3 dice.
Oh dear.
And that's the end of the shooting phase. We're beginning to make these Imperials bleed. Now the Broodlord is gonna charge. Let's see if I can get in there first. I can't get in there. Let's command point 1 of them. 6. So that's 3 inches up and 3 inches along. That still isn't going to be enough. Let's spend 2 command points and reroll this one.
There you go.
9. So I am going to be in. It was a 6-inch charge. That's 3 inches up plus 6 inches in is 9. Let's do some Overwatch. The Broodlord gets up there. He's infantry, so he can go up to the 2nd floor in ruins, even though he's a big infantry. He's a wide load. He's got 6 attacks and he hits on 2s. And the cat's in the house. I think they can hear the bell. That's 5 hits. He's strength 5, but he rerolls wounds for this weapon. So he wounds on 3s, rerolling to wound, and 6s are AP -6.
Oh.
AP -6. So those 2 Grey Knights are dead.
-6?
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
He's AP -3 anyway, but if you get 6s, it's AP -6.
How many Broodlords can you have? Like, HQ?
Well, he's a HQ, so you can bring 28 of them. Hello, Broodlord. Broodlord. Hello, Broodlord. How you doing? So I've wiped out a unit. Now, I'm thinking about spending a command point on overrun, because there's going to be some guys coming out of there. These guys coming forward, hitting them, and then my character will be the closest thing to his army. So if I spend a command point on overrun, it means I can move him as though it was the movement phase, including advancing. So and I want to put him back where he's a bit tucked in. So let's spend a command point on overrun. 3d6 picking the highest, Broodlord's move. 8, so I can put him 12 inches. So 3 inches down, 9 inches away from where he is. So I've dropped the Broodlord back down there, keeping units all the way around him, so he's a bit safe. And then I completely forgot to charge with the Hive Tyrant, so Mike just reminded me. So let's see if the Hive Tyrant can get into this unit of Grey Knights here. It would be a 9, because he's deployed more than 9 inches away, but he has adrenal glands, so it's +1 to this roll. That's a 7, and I've already spent 3 command points. I don't think I'm going to re-roll that. He has got Catalyst on him. Let's do some Overwatch. Right, no damage done to the Hive Tyrant there on an Overwatch. Failed charge, and then I remembered the Trigon as well and failed to charge into the Razorback. That didn't work out despite having adrenal glands. No damage done here either. That's what happens when you forget things. The dice gods say no matter what you roll, you're not going to be able to change this result. So the results have not changed at all. Failed charges on the right flank. At least the Broodlord has smashed something on the left flank. So we're about to go into Grey Knight's turn 2. I wonder if the Grandmaster is ready to join us, whether he's taken his slippers off, finished his cup of tea. We're about to find out in Grey Knight's turn 2. Here we are after the Grey Knight's movement phase with the Hive Tyrant and a Trigon on one side of the field. And my Carnifex is over here. The Grandmaster has turned up and he thinks Carnifexes are a juicier target. He's dropped in here. The unit that was there, the Strike Squad, have moved over to complement the number of shots, the amount of firepower he can put down. The Storm Raven dropped off its passages in the middle of the roadway there. And there's the Librarian, already channeling Vortex of Doom. Power crackling along its psychic hood. There could be a big dent taken out of the middle in a second. This unit stringing forward, the Psy Cannon staying still. Those 2 squads get out the Storm Raven. This unit backing away from the Hive Tyrant. It looks like the Grey Knights have decided to push to the left flank and try and take out as many of the targets on the left flank as they can, leaving the right flank for now. Trying to cut this army in two. That's probably the right way to do it. Focus all their firepower in one part of the battle grid, and then whatever's left over, go over to the other side of the battle grid. They're a very elite army. If you get pulled all over the place, then you can get picked off. The Storm Raven still flying, went the full 20s now over here. He could probably drop into VTOL mode, seeing as I can't really shoot with anything because I don't have very many guns, but at least he's safer in the air. So now we're going to go on to the psychic phase. What are you thinking, Mike?
I was just about to move this Razorback.
Are you?
This over here, yeah.
Okay, let's move the Razorback. Can move 10, so he's all the way over there. We're getting away from the Trigon as well. Yeah, no, I like it. It's a good tactic. Right, psychic phase, what are we doing?
So, 1 command point.
Right.
Vortex of Doom from him.
Okay. I don't mean to help you, but don't you want to do like some smiting first, just in case you kill? Mind you, Vortex will hit him, right? And then it hits the nearest enemy unit within 3 inches as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vortex.
Everything's still going to be within
Yeah,
range.
and then smiting will just mop up. What do you need for Vortex?
I need an 8.
An 8, but with Psychic Channeling, you roll 3 dice and pick the 2 highest.
Correct.
Okay. And that's a 7. That's already a command point. That drops you down to 4 left. Do you want to re-roll any of them?
Command points on this one.
Okay. So that's cocked.
No,
That's a
same
7.
again.
Do You want to re-roll that one, or you're just leaving it at
No,
D3?
I think
Oh no, that doesn't work, does it? Yeah. So Vortex of Doom, basically, if you get an 8 off, it's D3 mortal wounds to that unit and a unit beside. But if it's more than 10, it's D6 mortal wounds. Now that was a 7, and typically with Grey Knights, they're +1 to their psychic roll. That would have been a pass, but with Shadow in the Warp, -1 to your psychic tests, that made it a failure. The might of the hive mind keeping you back.
It's terrible.
So let's do some smiting. There's going to be smiting
I've still
all
got
over
some
the
psychic
place.
powers left.
Are you?
so
Oh yeah, he can
I'll
do another
do
thing.
smite again from the librarian,
Okay,
which is a pass.
that passes. I might as well start trying to deny some of this. You're at 7 because that's -1. Oh no, then you go back up to 8. So I don't deny it. So I didn't beat you. Does he only do 1 damage as well?
My smites are enough, but everyone can do it. So
Right, okay. Let's do a lot of smiting off camera. After a lot of smiting happened, there's 8 Gene Stealers left, and that Pyrovore took 2 wounds. He's down to 4 left. Now we're over here. This unit has smitten that Carnifex. He's lost a wound, and now the Nemesis Dread Knight Grandmaster is doing Vortex again. And you spent another command point again for Psychic Channeling again. And this time you get the 11. Which means you're going to do D6 damage to that Carnifex. I've got no psychic defense. That's pretty cocked, mate. No. 2. So the Carnifex is down to 5 wounds left. Now the Grandmaster is casting Sanctuary. This will improve his invulnerable save, and that's a pass. He has an Iron Halo, right?
yeah, so you're on 3 up.
3 up and
You
bun
can't,
now.
since the fact you can't improve that now.
To a 2 up, yeah. Before the fact he could get to a 2 up and bun, but now he's got a 3 up and bun, so he's pretty invulnerable. Right, let's shoot some guns. Opening up the shooting phase, the squad by the statues are firing at the Pyrovores. This is all the Stormbolters, hitting on 3s. And that's pretty good. Strength 4, toughness 4. And how many wounds you get? I have 7 4-up saves to make. And I make 3 of them. One of the Pyrovores dies. Does he go pop? Nope. This Pyrovore is down to 3 wounds. Now firing the Sight Cannon in. Sight Cannon stayed still, so 3's to hit because it is a heavy gun. 7 toughness 4. And only 1 wound. At -1, you say? It does take a wound. The Pyrovore is down to 2 wounds left. So after that strike squad fired, now this strike squad that just got out the Storm Raven are firing into the Gene Stealers. There's a Flamer in that squad as well. This could sting, yeah. Auto hitting.
D6.
4 auto hits. This isn't an ordinary Flamer, right? This is strength higher than 4.
Strength 6 -1.
Okay.
1 damage.
So 4 auto hits, wounding on 3s. I have a 5 up and bun. And 3 of them wound. 3 5 up and buns on the Gene Stealers. And I only lose 1 Gene Stealer. Now let's lock and load with those Stormbolters. After rolling the hit and rolling the wound, I have 4 saves to make. And I fail all of them. Leaving 3 Gene Stealers left. Now the Librarian's got Combi Plasma, firing the Plasma version. On a 3, they both hit. Strength 7, toughness 4, winning on a 3. 1 wound, 5 up and bun. I'll save that one. Now we're across to this squad that fell back out of the ruin. They're unloading all of their Stormbolt shots into the Gene Stealers. And the Gene Stealers have been wiped out. Now onto the last strike squad. What are we doing? They've got a Flamer there.
Flamer into this unit.
Yes.
The rest of my guys into that.
So Stormbolters into the Pyrovore. Flamer into the Termagant.
Flamer.
Flamer hits
1 automatic.
once, yeah.
Wounds on a 2. I think it's a toughness 3.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So
Strength 6, toughness. Is this AP minus anything?
-1.
Okay, so you do kill one of them. And then loads and loads of Stormbolt shots into this Pyrovore, which only has 2 wounds left.
Yeah. It's not very nice, is it?
No. 3's to hit.
Oh god.
4's to wound. That will do it. I've only got 2 wounds left and it's a 4-up save. Can I touch your dice?
Yeah, of course.
I'm touching your dice.
Oh no, I'm going to taint them.
And the Pyrovore just dies and he blows up on a 4-up. And doesn't go pop. He just crumples in a pile of ooze. It would have been nice for him to blow up because I'd have done 1 mortal wound to your guys there. But never mind. So very efficient shooting there from the Grey Knights holding the roadway. All the Grey Knights and the Pyrovores wiped out. Then that Razorback turned its turret around and managed to pop off a couple of those Termagants there. Now we're across to this side of the battle grid. We're starting with the Grandmaster Dread Knight. He's firing everything at this Carnifex. What gun are we shooting
Do
first?
side cannon first. So
Okay.
strength 7. It's a heavy one. So
Alright.
it's 6 shots, strength 7, -1 AP, but 2 damage.
2 damage?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's heavy, so you're hitting on 3s instead
Hitting on
of
3s,
2s?
reroll on 1s.
Okay, right. And there's a 2. That always
I
happens.
know, right?
Strength 7, I am toughness 7.
Yep, so 4s.
That's pretty good. 4 wounds.
4 wounds.
At AP -1. So my 3 up becomes a 4 up. And I take 2 wounds. And then I just realised that it's -1 to hit a Carnifex. Let me check. There was a 3 there. That should have missed, but it was my fault. I missed it. So I've got to deal with it. That's how you learn. P Silencer coming in as well. Is this heavy?
Yes.
So it's
Same again.
instead of hitting on 2s, it's hitting on 3s, but -1 to hit because of my spore.
So
fire.
4s.
4s to hit.
4s,
Reroll
reroll on
ones.
1s.
And there's a few 1s.
Get rid of the other ones that I can't roll.
So only 3 hits so far. And you converted 1 more. Strength,
4.
is it?
Yep, so 5s.
Okay.
1.
1. AP.
Normal save, but D3 wounds if you fail.
I passed. D3 wounds.
Mm-hmm.
I passed. So the Grandmaster only taking 2 wounds off the Carnifex there. That's interesting. And now we're going to have this strike squad firing everything at the Hormagaunts. Hormagaunts. The Grandmaster was giving them re-roll 1s to hit. And this is all the wounds. That's a lot of wounds. Right, 4 of them are not in cover. So I'm going to roll these 4 as a 6 up. And another one. So that unit, so they're all dead. So the remaining unit guys, they're all now all in cover. So these become a 5 up save.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's dead. That squad are wiped out. Mike, you're chewing through my little bugs like a hungry badger.
I am. Nom nom nom. It's the big stuff that I'm worried about though. It's not doing enough. But I've still got the Storm Raven and the Twin Lazars left.
Yeah, where are these big guns going?
Ooh. Oh, I don't know. I think that Twin Laz over there is going to be shooting this guy here.
This Carnifex, the uninjured one.
Yeah.
So hitting on 4s because of the -1 to hit shenanigans. And you miss. Both shots. That actually counted for something there. 2 3s. So that leaves the Storm Raven left to fire.
Everything it has at that Carnifex.
Everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This could be painful.
Yeah.
2 Laz at the Carnifex, hitting
2
on
Lazers.
4s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3, strength 9, toughness 7. That's a wound at -3, so I need a 6 up. I am in a cover, but I'm a creature, so I don't benefit from that. I'm not infantry. I don't get a 6. D6 damage on the Carnifex. Don't you do it. 1.
I'm going to spend a command
You've
point.
got
and
2
reroll
left.
that. I know. I've got 1
And you've got 2 melters coming in. Why would you bother?
2.
You get a 2.
Yeah.
Well, that's 100% better than it was before.
That's very true.
6 wounds on the
Like
Carnifex.
600%.
4s to hit with the melters.
Yep.
And 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. It wounds. You're within 12-inch range, so it's 2d6 picking the highest, and I don't get a save. 6 wounds to burn through. Look at that. That's a 6. Spending that command point was the
It
best thing
worked,
you've
yeah.
done so far. Grandmaster, charging the Carnifex. I've done the Overwatch, didn't do any damage. You need a 9 to get in there. And that's an 8. And you get to re-roll with your Warlord trait. Is it both dice or
I think
1
it's
dice?
both. I don't think I get to, unless I spend a command point, I get to reroll 1 dice.
50-50 chance on one of them. And that's your last command point, so no
I'm
nerfing.
just using his,
Okay.
his Warlord trait.
His Warlord trait. First to the fray. No, you failed the charge. Now, do you want to send this tasty morsel into the Carnifex as well? Or no?
No.
You don't want to send the strike squad in?
No. I was
Okay.
going to maybe if he made it in, but nah.
Are you going to send any of these guys in the roadway? Or are you happy with your position? Or,
I don't think I can charge anything, to be fair.
well, you can charge anything that's within 12 inches of you. Mike's choosing not to charge. There's a flamer in that squad, flamer in that squad. What are these flamers called?
Incinerators.
Incinerators in those 2 squads. So, and you've got storm bolters, which are 4 shots each. So the amount of Overwatch you can pump out is quite brutal. And you don't want to get pulled further and further away from the objectives. You've had a good turn there. You've wiped out the Gene Stealers and the Pyrovores and one of the Carnifexes. I'm losing some of my monstrous creatures, and I keep treading on the cat every time I go around that side of the table. So now let's go on to Tyranids turn 3? Yeah, I went first. Tyranids turn 3. I never go first, that's why I'm confused. Here we are after Kraken's movement phase. I've lost half my army for only 1 strike squad. So now I need to make the Grey Knights bleed. They did the right thing by shifting to the left flank and taking out as many assets as they can, and which leaves their right flank exposed. So now I need to hit this flank as hard as I can. The Broodlord dancing forward. The smaller unit of Termagants coming out here, ready to lay some firepower down into the middle of the roadway here. And the Trigon and the Winged Hive Tyrant are also going to come charging. And so hopefully I'll take out more than 1 strike squad this turn. Hopefully I'll take out 2 strike squads. I'll continue my advance with the Termagants here, with the Neurothrope, the Synaptic Linchpin hidden in the middle of them. He's my Warlord. I need to keep him safe. He's got the fly keyword, jumping up and over, landing in the middle there. So Operation Keep the Hive Mind Safe continues. And maybe I can smash my way through these strike squads and then start taking these objectives here. I'm very conscious of the fact that I'm going to do very little damage or 0 damage to that Storm Raven. And 0 damage to this Las Cannon Razorback here. And that every turn he can probably pick off another monstrous creature and another monstrous creature. And I'm very conscious that my left flank is entirely weak. But at least the Nemesis Dread Knight Grandmaster is somewhat isolated for a turn or 2. However, by turn 5 there should be a big scrap by the statues in the middle of the roadway. The prize is the Hive City of St. Palentis, and the Hive Fleet is getting closer to the doors. Let's go on to the psychic phase. The Hive Tyrant is casting the horror onto that unit there. I need a 6. That's a 4, that's a fail. Bum. Let's smite, hitting the unit in front. Is that double 6s?
Yeah, it is.
That's double 6s. I think I might command point that. That's an 8. Would you like to try deny with your mini psychers?
Yeah. I can't do
you
anything.
can't deny it. So that'll be D3 mortal wounds to those Grey Knights right in front of me. And that's 3 more wounds. That stings. Just suddenly occurs to me that that Storm Raven was horrid last turn. I got to remember these. I'm going to put these cards down next to. Right, the Neurothrope needs to cast Catalyst on the Winged Hive Tyrant. I need a 6, that's an 8. Would you like to deny with your many psychers? 10, you deny it. So no ignoring wounds for him. So he can cast 2 powers. One of them is Smite, one of them is Catalyst. I'm now in range of Smite. Let's Smite. 6, that passes. Would you like to deny with one of your many psychers? You only need and you deny it. Probably keeping that unit alive for now, which means he's going to have to charge them. I would have liked to have smitten them out of the way, so I could have charged one of the units behind, but that isn't going to happen. And next we're on to the Broodlord, who can cast Catalyst. Do I do it on myself, or do I do it on the Hive Tyrant? See, the thing is, so long as he's not the closest character, you can't target him because he's got less than 10 wounds. So I really want to put Catalyst on the Hive Tyrant. And I can do the same psychic power twice. It's narrative. So let's do Catalyst one more time. And it fails anyway. So apart from killing 3 Grey Knights, that psychic phase was a bit of a bust. At least I don't have any lingering effects that I need to remember. Right, I've spent a command point on Scorch Bugs. We're in the shooting phase. This unit here can see all of those Grey Knights bar 1 shot. So I'm going to hit them with Scorch Bugs. So these Devourers are strength 4. They hit on 4s. And I only hit twice. And the thing about Scorch Bugs is it would be strength 4 wounding on 4s, but it's +1 to wound with Scorch Bugs. So I'm wounding on 3s. And I don't get any wounds. Are you lolling again?
Yeah.
Then the second unit of Termagants fired in at that unit there. There was only some that were in range, only up to about here. And I was hitting on 5s because I advanced and I didn't do any damage. Right, bioelectric thing from the Trigon into them. His Scream is 6 shots and he hits on 4s. And I hit 3 times and it's strength 5. So I will wound on 3s. I do 3 wounds on that strike squad, but it is AP dash. So 3 up saves.
They're okay, Tex.
power armor holding firm there. Now the Carnifex, he wants to charge this strike squad. However, what I want to do is I want to charge round and make sure I'm more than 3 inches away from the Grandmaster when I charge in to prevent him from heroically intervening. So if I shoot some of these and kill some of these, you'll probably take from the front to make sure that you can heroically intervene. So that's a bad idea, shooting them. So instead, I'm going to shoot at this squad back here. Assault 6 times for 6 times. That's good. I'm hitting on 4s. And I hit 5 times, through 4 times. 4 times, that's very good. It's strength 7, so I'm wounding on 3s. 2 wounds. And it's AP -4, 1 damage each. So 2 of them just get melted. And that's it for my shooting phase. I don't have any more shots. So now I need to charge. This Carnifex will charge there. I need a long charge to get round. We'll do Overwatch off camera in a second. That's long enough to ensure that I end up more than 3 inches away from him, but within an inch of the first model. He ends up there, more than 3 inches away. No heroic intervention will be happening. Hopefully I'll nom my way through them. Right, onto the Broodlord. He's going to charge this squad. This squad's got a flamer, so we'll do this on camera because this could sting. And it's not a flamer, it's called a what?
Incinerator.
4 hits with the Incinerator. At strength 6?
Yep.
On toughness 5.
3s.
2 wings.
2 wings.
AP minus?
-1.
-1, so 5 up in buns. Take a wound off of him as he goes in there, and then all the Stormbolt shots. How many Stormbolters have you got?
4 left.
4 times 4 is 16 shots
Yep.
coming in. 16 shots in on 6s. There's 2 more hits. These are wound on 5s.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nope.
So he only took a wound. Lovely. Then the Broodlord made it in there. Then over here I declared a multi-charge here because in case he rolled really high he could get down there, but he didn't. So the Trigon ended up going into the same unit along with the Hive Tyrant, and the Trigon took a wound for his troubles. A lot of Overwatch coming in. One of his claws got shot off. So we've got multiple combats erupting across the line. At the end of the charge phase, on a 4 up, Carnifexes do a mortal wound. It's called Crushing Charge. I just run one of them over. No. So Screamer Killers have 5 attacks. They hit on 3 when they charge, and they reroll hit rolls of 1. So I managed to get 4 hits. This is Strength User, Strength 6 versus Toughness 4. So 3s to wound. All 3 wound. It's AP -3, 3 damage a time. So you need 6s to keep these guys alive. There's only 4 left. I did 4 wounds, so just 1 6 will do it. No, they get run down, and I won't consolidate 3 inches into the closest enemy model. From this fight to the fight with the 2 monstrous creatures versus that reduced strike squad, they got wiped out. Then on to the Broodlord here. This will be my 3rd squad if I can take it down. The Broodlord hits on 2s. That was 5 hits. I wound on 3s, and I re-roll to wound with this weapon. Oh dear, I only get 3 wounds in, but they are all AP -3, so 3 6s. And you save 1. Only 2 fall to the Broodlord, which is a problem, because Grey Knights have power weapons. Even worse than that, they're force weapons. So the Strike Squad pile into the Broodlord, Mike wisely choosing to take away the Incinerator there, leaving just power weapons, force weapons. And we've got a sword, we've got a halberd, we've got some falchions. What's
Sword
this?
first.
Sword, okay. Hits on a 3. Strength 4 versus toughness 5.
Wound on a 5. Wounds.
That's a wound. I have a 5 up and vulnerable save, which I pass. Phew. What are we on to now?
Falchions.
Falchions, so you get 2 attacks.
Hitting on 3s.
Yeah.
1
1
hit.
hit.
Wounding on 5s.
Strength 4.
Cool.
That doesn't wound.
And
And now the
helmet.
Justicar with a red helmet. 3s to hit.
Nothing.
Nothing. You
No.
failed to hit me back. Interesting. Heroic stuff. At least they hold him up and they do not fall while multiples of their number, multiple squad mates around them have been dying, have been screaming, their brains exploding. With the Grey Knight still holding firm, you've got 1, 2, 3 strike squads left, and the Librarian, and the Nemesis Dread Knight Grandmaster, and the vehicles, which I won't be able to do much about. I've got a screen of little Gribblies, and some big bugs to trouble you. I mean, the Broodlord and the Winged Hive Tyrant himself, they're going to be trouble. As the Tyranids draw closer to the objectives, the Grey Knights close the noose, the Storm Raven dropping into the VTOL mode, the Grandmaster ignoring the Khan effects. I think he's thinking he can smite him or shoot him away. And this unit of Grey Knight Strike Squad staying locked up in combat with the Broodlord. I think he's not going to be alone for much longer. It looks like a lot more Grey Knights are going to go piling in there, which makes it interesting, which means who's going to take on the Hive Tyrant and the Trigon? Let's find out. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Psychic phase, onto the unit that's locked up with the Broodlord casting Smite. And that's cocked. That's pretty cocked. I called a cock earlier on, you can re-roll it. That's a 7, so I need an 8 to deny. That's a 9, I deny you, sir, I'm sorry.
That's right, next one.
Next squad, yep.
That's
That's a 6. Have I got anyone who can deny that? The Neurothrope, yeah, the Neurothrope will be within 12, and the Hive Tyrant. What am I doing? So I need a 7. I deny that as well. I deny both of you. The Hive Mind is more powerful than you, sir.
No. And then the Vortex of Awesomeness.
You're doing the Vortex of Awesomeness with Libby. You got 1 command point left?
No, I'm not going to bother doing the triple.
No?
I might need it for something
Okay.
else.
That's an 11. It worked anyway. So that does
a D6.
D6 on the Broodlord mortal wounds and the closest enemy unit within 3, which is the bugs. So now you've got the magic command point. And that's cocked. And that's cocked. Try and hit the table, Mike. Come on. 6. 6. Yes. That's a dead Broodlord. He's been wiped out in the psychic phase. Your psychic power is much better than mine. And then it chains into the unit of bugs and does D6 damage to them as well.
3.
For 3. There's a Broodlord shaped hole there now. Now you're casting Sanctuary on what? Who are you doing?
These 5 guys here.
On them?
Yep.
So, but if you do it yourself, it's a +1 to your invuln. What does it do if you get it on?
5+ invuln.
Gives them a 5 up invuln,
Yep.
like Terminators.
Yep.
I like it. Okay.
Okay, I need a 6.
Okay.
That's
a 4. Didn't pass. Now we're on to your Nemesis Grandmaster Dread Knight.
He's going to do Vortex.
Vortex.
Yeah.
Hit the Khan effects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
a 10.
a 10.
That's a D3.
That's a D3. Okay. What was that?
That's, well, I'll re-roll it because I think it was just a 2.
I don't know which one it was. It was definitely a 2. That
Definitely a
Khan
2.
effects is down to 1 wound left. You know, if you smite, you'll kill him,
I
but
could
you've got
do.
Sanctuary to get your invuln up to 3 up instead of 4
I
up.
do need.
Do you want to kill him with mind bullets and put your real bullets somewhere else,
I'm gonna smite
or
him.
defensive?
Nope. I'm going to
Offensive.
Mighty Smiter.
Going for offense. Oh,
Oh,
oh, that's a
That's a
5.
pass.
So how many denies have I tried to do so far? I'm
I
not
think
sure
you've
if
got
I
one
got.
left from him.
Yeah, I think I have.
Yeah.
That denies it. Now we're going to shoot some guns. All the heavy bolters from the Razorback are going into this Khan effects here. So this is 6 shots, hitting on 3s.
do I get -1 against that guy?
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
Hit on
okay, so
4s, yeah.
4s.
Thank you for remembering.
God.
I never do. Only
Wish
2
I
hits. Strength
With
5.
friends, I mean, it's alright.
It's alright. It's alright.
It's toughness.
7.
Oh, cool, shit. Okay, 5s.
Did you just swear on camera?
No.
There's a wound at -1. Oh, you kill him.
Yeah.
Do I want to command point that and really annoy you?
No.
Okay. After the Razorback, what's shooting next?
The Nemesis Grandmaster of
Is he?
Awesomeness. Yeah.
What you're firing at?
I'm firing the heavy sight cannon first. I'm going to be pouring everything into the Trigon.
The Trigon,
Yeah.
not the Hive Tyrant with a 4 up and vulnerable save.
Not yet.
Firing at the one without the invulnerable save.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's heavy sight cannon.
Yeah. And this is 3s to hit, re-rolling 1s, and you get 3 2s. That always happens. Strength what?
Terrible. Strength 7.
Toughness 6.
So wounded on 3s.
Okay.
2 wounds.
At AP minus.
-1, but 2 damage each.
Heavy Side Cannon's only AP -1. It should be AP -2, surely. Okay, but 2 damage each. I fail 1. He's down to 9 wounds left. 12 shots with a Gatling P silencer. This is heavy as well. Re-rolling those 1s because he's in range of himself. And strength, 1 hit the floor. That's good. You did. It's okay.
Okay.
Strength 4, toughness 6.
So I need 5s.
Yep. Any AP on this?
Nope. But it's D3 wounds each if everyone
Really?
fail. Yeah.
5 saves, 3 up. I failed 2 of them. So 2 D3 damage for 2 damage.
2 damage.
I was lolling at you there. From the Grand Master to this squad here that stayed still between the statues, shouting out, "You shall not pass." What are you firing at?
Someone's Gandalf moment.
Yeah.
So he's going to be throwing a grenade,
Yes,
which hits on a 3,
it does.
which hits.
Yeah, okay.
Crack grenades are strength,
Strength 6, toughness 6, yeah.
2 4s. That's a 4.
Wounds, yeah, a -1, so I need a 4, which I fail, and this does D3 damage on the Trigon.
1.
For 1 more damage. He's down to 6 left. Does look like a big Balrog coming at you. It's all red and... what we
4
have...
Stormbolter shots,
4
and the
storm-
sight cannon.
1 minute. Oh yeah, 4 Stormbolters, yep. Okay, 3 hits.
5s, nothing.
No wounds.
And then the sight cannon.
Okay, you stood still, so 3s to hit.
1.
Only 1
wounds
hit.
on 3s.
1 wound. 1 4
Minus
up.
1.
I failed that. He's down to 5 wounds left. Now over here, the Razorback can draw a line of sight straight between the statues to the Trigon, hitting on 3s with 2 las cannons. Will this be the shot? 1 hit. Strength 9 versus tough 6.
3s. 1
It
wound.
does wound. I need a 6 up save. I don't save. D6 damage, 5 to get through.
2.
2.
2 wounds.
You've been routinely doing 1 damage, 1 damage, 2
Yeah.
damage. Still got
I'm
3
just
left.
teasing you.
Just tickling me.
There's a finale.
You're blowing off claws and teeth, and he's writhing around in your not doing enough damage.
Okay.
I'm conscious that this Storm Raven hasn't fired yet, and there's
Not
some
yet.
big guns on this flyer.
But I'm thinking just to start whittling down at the moment still. So I'm
Yes.
going to do the Librarian into him.
Okay, do you want to overcharge your plasma?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 2
Okay.
shots as well.
Okay. 3s to hit, don't roll a 1. And you rolled a 1.
command point
Your
left.
last command point. Really warming up that dice.
Yeah.
Oh, they both hit. Strength 8 versus toughness 7.
3s.
6, sorry. And they both wound.
Both wounded.
AP -3, 2 damage each. Has the Librarian got a headshot? Let's see if I can get some 6s. No, headshot. He takes the Trigon out. What a hero.
Smash.
The Librarian's been a hero this turn. He's killed a Broodlord with mind bullets this turn, and a Trigon with real bullets, plasma bullets this turn. What a hero. Now we've got these strike squads in the middle. The interesting thing is, because this unit didn't have to fall back and the Broodlord was killed in psychic phase, they can now fire.
They can.
And can the 5-man squad next to them.
I'm going to waste everything on the Storm Raven now into him.
Storm Raven on the Hive Tyrant.
Yeah.
I wish I had Catalyst. Okay, so what are we firing first?
Lazes.
Lazers.
2 Lazes. 3s to hit.
Snake Eyes. 2 Melters.
2 Mals.
1 hit. Strength 8, toughness 7.
5.
It does wound. I have a 4-up invulnerable save on him, a psychic barrier, which I make. Shots go wide.
2 missiles.
2 missiles, yeah. 3s.
No.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
The Storm Raven started missing all of his shots. He flew across the battlefield and then he's banked back round, zipped down into VTOL mode, and he hasn't hit the stabilizers yet.
So-
He's failed to wound that Hive Tyrant.
I'm going to throw a grenade.
Yes.
And then 8 shots into him. So grenade first.
Okay.
It misses.
Misses.
And then
Oh, dear.
8 normal Stormbolter shots.
Yes.
3s.
I need this Hive Tyrant.
Uh,
to live. 3 hits.
1s and 2s.
Needs 5s to damage him.
What?
1. I have a
One
3-up save. Which
Oh
I
my
failed.
God.
You have wounded him.
I threw a rock.
No, the squad in front.
Grenade first.
You're not going to pick on the little bugs. Please pick on the
Not
little
yet,
bugs.
no.
No.
Grenade
Is
first.
there everything from them?
Yep. Missed.
Yes,
And the
okay.
Flamer.
Yes.
Automatic. Ooh.
Ooh, you automatically hit
I'm losing dice
5
quite
times.
rapidly.
It's okay, 5 times. Strength 6, toughness 7 on the Hive
So
Tyrant.
5s. 2.
2 wounds. This is
Minus
AP. Right, yeah. So I need my 4-up and buns. And I fail 1. He's taken 2 damage. And then all the Stormbolt shots?
Yep.
Okay. Hitting on 3s. That is a lot of 1s and 2s. And now you're winning on 5s. And
One.
only one finds its mark. 3-up save. I make the save.
He's a hero.
And that's the end of the shooting phase. Carnifex is gone, Broodlord's gone, Trigon's gone. Hive Tyrant's down to 10 wounds left. We're now into the charge phase. What are you doing, Mike? Where are you charging?
I want to see if that Grandmaster is in 12 inches.
Yeah, that's a long charge.
I know, right? I get it reroll. It's a 12.
It's a 12, so you need an 11. Let's see if you can make it. I have no Overwatch.
Yeah.
I've just got some very big talons.
Cue the Jurassic Park music.
Okay,
That's
a 7. Reroll.
No.
That's a snake eyes. That's a failed charge. Do you want to charge with any of these strike squads? Do you want
No.
to feed any of these little guys
No.
to the beast?
No.
Please do it.
No.
No?
What are those guys like in close combat?
They're okay. They're not great.
Can they overwatch?
No, they have lash whips and bone swords.
How many wounds each?
3 wounds, toughness 4, a 4-up save. So you're looking at 9 wounds there with a 4-up save at toughness 4. They're a synapse unit. They were there to keep all this stuff that I had over here safe and in synapse. You know, all the stuff that you killed?
Yeah.
They were there to keep the synapse range going. Because right now I've got some warriors. I've got 2 units of little Gribblies and 2 HQs over here. A winged Hive Tyrant and the Neurothrope. And that's it. You've decimated the rest of my army.
I think
You're
I
in a
might try
strong
charge
position.
These guys, actually.
Charge some Gribblies?
Yeah, so these guys are going to charge them.
Please come forward. Yes, okay. We'll do some Overwatch off camera. Let's just see if you don't roll snake eyes for the charge range.
Okay.
No, you're in. No wounds done on Overwatch. This unit did not fall back, so it can charge even though it was locked up in combat at the start of the turn. And you're in.
Feed him at those.
Into the Warriors, the Librarian on his own.
Yeah.
What a hero. And he makes a 6. He will get in as well. So the Librarian comes charging into the Warriors. The strike squad that was stood next to him hear his cry and go charging in as well. So now let's fight this strike squad first into these 6 remaining bugs over here.
Sword first.
Yes,
3s.
hits,
And then
3s.
3s to wound.
That's 1 dead bug. Halberds and falchions.
Halberd hits.
Yep.
Wounds on a 3.
No.
Falchions. 3s.
1 hit. Wounds on a 3.
Yeah, it's a 6.
So 2. You killed 2.
2 people.
Good stuff. So this strike squad only managed to take 2 little bugs down with him, and now we're on to the Librarian striking these warriors. Librarians have 3 attacks, but this guy's got a pair of falchions, so he's up to 4 attacks. And he hits on 2s. And everything hits. What a hero. And he's strength 4 versus toughness 4.
Pause.
2 wounds. AP minus?
2.
AP minus 2, so I need 6s here. And I make 1 6. It does do D3 damage, however, for
2.
only
1.
1 damage. And then the strike squad pile in. And where are we starting first, Mike?
Do the Justy with the hammer.
Justicar's got a hammer, is he?
Hammer of Doom.
2 attacks, hitting on
Hit
4s
fours.
because it's a hammer.
2
They both hit. Strength,
8.
toughness 4.
2s.
And they both wound. And this is AP minus 3 and a flat 3 damage.
Correct.
He just crushes 2 warriors because they have a 4-up save. Goes straight through the armor. 3 wounds each. 2 of them are just wiped out. Now you've got the rest of the attacks going in there as well. Flamer didn't wound, the swords didn't wound, but the falchions caused 2 wounds. So I need 2 5-up saves. And I make 1 fail 1. And this will do D3 damage with the falchion for 3 damage. Wow. You wipe out the warriors. Now you may consolidate 3 inches towards the closest enemy unit. Here is the remainder of my army. 2 little squads of bugs and 2 psychic beings. Granted, one of them is a Neurothrope and one of them is a Hive Tyrant, but it looks like it's an uphill struggle for Hive Fleet Kraken at this stage. The Grey Knights have handled themselves admirably. However, it's about taking these objectives. It's all about the objectives, getting to these statues. So let's go on to Tyranids, turn 4. Tyranids, turn 4, and this is all that remains of my army. Not a lot left. I thought about putting rapid regeneration on the Hive Tyrant, but I've got 4 command points left. That costs 2. I really wanted to fight again with Overrun, which costs 3. Because I mean to take on that Grandmaster there, seeing as he's only got a 4-up invulnerable save right now, not a 3-up invulnerable save. So we need to take out one of these high value assets, and he is the enemy warlord. These guys fell back, the termagants. They can't shoot, they don't have the fly keyword, but at least they fell back. So let's go on to the psychic phase, and let's start off by smiting. Smite hits the closest thing in line of sight and range. It won't hit them. This thing will hit them. So smiting away, and that's a 6. Would you like to deny
Yes, please.
many of your stuff?
6. It's not the same. Is it?
That's
Beat
not
it,
the
don't
same,
it?
no. This will do D3 damage to those Grey Knights. Only 1. Now the Neurothrope is going to cast Catalyst on the Hive Tyrant. And I'm going to reroll 1s because he's a Neurothrope and that's what he can do for free. And I probably forgot that about 7 times already. That's a 10. You need 11 to deny that. No, that's an 8. So Catalyst, I'll put it there. He's Catalyst. Right, now the Hive Tyrant is going to cast the Horror on your Grandmaster. That's a 12. That's a Perils. I've got 1 command point left. Or do I do D3 mortal wounds to myself? Yeah, let's reroll one of those 6s. So that's a 10. You need 11 to deny.
No,
And you get a 10. So he's horrified. That's -1 for him to hit, -1 to his leadership. And now I'm going to smite him. And that's a 6. You need a 7 to deny. You've got multiple guys here. And you do deny the smite,
Correct.
at least. Shooting phase, only one thing to shoot. These termagants, the ones that are in range, are going to shoot at them. They hit on 4s. And, oh no, I hit on 5s because I advanced them. That's why the back managed to get all the way up there. So only 4 hits. Strength 4, toughness 4. I do 1 wound on a Grey Knight. And he's okay. That's the end of my shooting phase. Now I'm going to charge. Winged Hive Tyrant versus Nemesis Dread Knight. No damage done on Overwatch. The Hive Tyrant has a pair of monstrous, 2 pairs of monstrous serving talents. So he has 5 attacks, and he hits on 2s. Everything hits.
Nice.
This is Strength User, so it's Strength 6 versus Toughness 6, and he falls to wound. And I get 3 wounds, AP -3, so 3 4-up invulnerable saves to keep him alive. And you only fail 1. This does flat 3 damage. Flat 3 damage on your Grandmaster. How many has he got left?
9.
9 left. Starts off with 12, huh?
Yeah.
Right, then the pincer tail swings out and hits and wounds. This is AP dash though, so you have a 2-up save on this one.
It's okay.
He's okay. And that's the end of my attacks. Then you get to fight back.
Okay, so I've got 6 attacks because, well, it has 5 but because of the fists,
Yes.
+1, and because of the nasty horror that you managed to pull off.
Yes.
On me, it's hit on 3s, rerolling 1s rather than 2s.
Are these fists not -1 to hit anyway?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
It's the hammer. It's the only thing on the Dread Knight that actually -1 to hit on them. It's the hammer because it's the nastiest.
Okay.
But it's only got the fists.
Okay.
So 6 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
Yep. There's 2 2s. It worked. The horror worked. Strength?
12.
12. Toughness 7.
So wounded on 3s.
Yep. All 4 wound. I need 4 4-up and vulnerable saves. And I make 2. How much damage does those power fists do? Those Dread Knight do?
D3 each.
D3 each. 2 D3 damage then, sir.
Cock.
For 6 damage. 6 catalyst saves coming up. I fail all of them. I take 6 wounds. This is not going well, so I'm going to spend my last 3 command points on Adrenaline Surge. Pick a Tyranid unit, it can fight again. The Hive Tyrant fights again, hitting on 2s. And I get 4 hits. I'm wounding on 4, strength 6 versus toughness 6. I get 3 wounds. That one's cocked actually. That one's really cocked. It's only from my angle. I get 2 wounds at -3, so 2 4-up and vulnerable saves.
1 gets through.
Probably saw my hand directing you there. D3 damage. 2. That's 1 damage. Just 1 damage. Then the tail. Come on, prehensile tail. This never does anything. 2s. It hits. 4s. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything.
Down to 8 wounds.
So my last 3 command points, I took 1 more wound off of him. That's the end of Tyranids turn 4. Let's go on to Grey Knights. Turn 4. Here we are after the Grey Knight movement phase. One squad moving this way to deal with these bugs. The other squad's with the Librarian moving around there to deal with these bugs. You've got a squad down there still between the statues and the Razorbacks staying still. Grandmaster still locked up in combat, mate. You staying there with him?
Absolutely. He was in the debrief, okay? Having his cup of tea, slippers were on. He's grabbed him by his tail now, so he's going to make sure he finishes his job, goes back to HQ and then finishes off whatever report he was making. Okay?
I made him angry. Never make him angry.
Ridiculous.
Let's do some psychic stuff. Smiting everywhere. Let's do the smiting. Smite, Vortex. Only killed one bug. Vortex failed. Now we're on to the Grandmaster. What's he doing?
He's going to Vortex.
Vortex of Doom. The Hive Tyrant next to him. You need an 8.
He's so angry, mate.
It doesn't go off. That would have gone off except for the psychic nerf because of the shadow.
Going to do a normal smite on him.
You're going to smite? You're not going to get your item run
No,
up?
he's so angry.
Okay. Offense all the way.
Here we go.
That passes. I've done all my denial so far, so that puts the... I can't deny anymore.
On to 3.
Yep, that's the Hive Tyrant down to 3 wounds left. That's the end of the psychic phase.
Oh, got that. Those two there as well.
Oh yeah, those two there. Let's not forget about them. That will hit the Hive Tyrant as well. And that passes. He's down to 2 wounds left. He's got a serious headache. And then the Grey Knights pulled the trigger. And after the shooting phase, after the smoke clears, the Razorbacks, the Storm Ravens, all the strike teams did this. They're wiped out. Over here I have a Neurothrope and 1 Gaunt left. That was brutal. That's the end of the shooting phase. Now we're on to the fight phase. Let's find out how angry this Grandmaster is. I assume he's still not nerfed. He's still on good enough wounds to still do what he does, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 6 attacks hitting on 2s.
Horror still counts though, doesn't it?
Yeah, hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 3s, real on 1s.
Those 2s again.
Those 2s again, but wounding on 3s.
3, sorry. Ooh.
Only 2 wounds, 2 4-up and buns. And I fail 1 and it does D3 damage. It was 3 damage. I have only 2 wounds left. The Hive Tyrant goes nuts on a 6 and just crumples. And the Hive Tyrant falls, and that's the end of Grey Knight's turn 4. And with my Neurothrope and a Termagant left on the table, and that is all, I'm going to have to concede at this stage. This is the way the world ends. And no one will know of this tale. In the scrap town, a mile from the city of St. Palentus, the Grey Knights deployed after wiping out a demonic incursion to take on the synaptic linchpin of Hive Fleet Kraken, as hive spores are raining down on this planet, and they utterly annihilate him. He will be dead very, very shortly. The Grey Knights clean their bolters, clear their blades, and retreat from this place, and none is the wiser, and your Grandmaster can go back to his cup of tea.
Very happy. Enough of that.
Just another day in the office.
Yeah, just about.
So what do you think of that then? You're normally on the offensive, it turns out, Grey Knights. Mind you, I have an assaulting army, so when you're on the back foot there's not a lot of shots coming in, raining in at you, and getting close to those Stormbolters. I think the kicker was when you did the move to shift one way and deal with half of my army and then shift back the other way. That was very good, that was very tactical. And the other tactical thing was letting me go first.
Yeah, well, I had to let you come to me, because I'm quite an aggressive player with the Grey Knights, because that's how you have to play with these guys, and going defensive was felt a bit weird, but it was cool because it was a bug hunt, and I knew you had to come forward, and dealing with the big guy with the plasma shots.
Yeah.
That was crucial for me.
I can say, Mike, I was surprised. I was surprised. Do you know what? I was surprised because you didn't drop in here. I know you had your Grandmaster, and I know you have your Storm Raven, and we've been playing for each other for, I don't know, a decade now. And this is probably the first time you have not chosen to go, I know what the objectives are. The objectives are down there, but all the bugs are up here. So I'm going to come storming in and kill as many as I can and sort the objectives. No, you actually said, no, you go first. You come close. Is this wisdom? Is this what maturity is?
It's tactics.
Is that what tactics is? This is what
and
tactics is.
And a very angry Grandmaster.
And a very angry Grandmaster, yeah. He's still relatively uninjured. He took a charge from a winged Hive Tyrant without Sanctuary on, which then used that override thingy bob and fought twice. Basically, that Hive Tyrant was going absolutely mental, and basically scratched some of his armour, and
I
that's
think the
it.
hero of the day though for me was the Librarian. He killed a lot with the Vortex.
Yeah.
And to go in and smash up some of the warriors, I mean, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
I was quite lucky with the dice rolls because Librarians tend to be quite sucky in close combat, but
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Well, with a pair of falchions, that's
yeah,
4
come
attacks.
on the 4 and the
Put it this way, in that one turn, he killed a Broodlord, a Trigon by shooting it in the face, headshot plasma, and a unit of warriors.
That guy's
Well,
going to
him-
go down in history.
Him with the strike squad next to him, so he did very well. And he was a last minute addition as well.
He was.
You're like, shall I put him in? Shall I not put him in? Oh, I'll put him in.
Yeah.
I need a librarian in it. It's Grey Knights. So that was awesome. I suppose I need to shout out the terrain. I remember that I haven't shouted it out before. This battle mat comes to you from P-Work War Games. The terrain, this Scratch Town Ruins, this Gothic Ruins comes to you from P-Work War Games. I want to thank everyone for listening. If you want more Winter's SEO battle reports, check out deploymentzone.tv. And thank you to all my patrons. I love you guys. I hope everyone else enjoyed this. I hope everyone enjoyed this battle report. Did you enjoy this battle report?
I loved it.
You love a bit of victory in
Until
the
next
morning.
time.
Yeah. Until next time, guys. Happy wargaming.